Hello boys and girls, and welcome to part 10 of the Sniepr Elite V2 playthrough, or let's play if you will, with me, Gitbag the Great. Now this playthrough, or let's play if you will, is soon coming to a close. This is the second to last mission we're on, the launch site mission in fact, and I think this has been a rather long and good journey where we've had some ups and downs, but for the most part I think this has been a good journey. I mean, I'll admit it's probably been a longer journey, more so down to the fact that I've just been very inconsistent with uploading over the last couple of months, but then again that's down to more so the fact that I've been revising mainly for my end of year exams, my first year of university. So I do apologise. And also on top of that, for the last week or so I've been having very particular technical issues with my desktop computer, and I've also been fervently preoccupied with playing for the first time Elder Scrolls V Skyrim on my laptop, which I've only recently bought during a holiday to Belgium while it was on sale on Steam for about $2.50. So those are the main reasons why I've been so busy recently, and why I haven't really been uploading as frequently as I did maybe a month or so ago, so I do apologise for that. But I'm going to be filming this episode of the Sniepr Elite V2 Let's Play, or playthrough if you will, back to back with the final episode, which is going to be Mission 11. Just because I fancied just releasing them in quick succession, really, because I haven't really released much for a while. I think I'm also going to get back to doing some World of Tanks videos sometime soon, and I also might start doing a few videos, not necessarily a playthrough style, but just bits and bobs of like Skyrim here and there. And I might pardon me, I might also do a couple of retrospectives, maybe a couple more vlogs, and I'll try and find another sort of very straightforward, nice and simple game to do a playthrough or let's play of in the near future as well. But for now, let's just concentrate on getting out of the way the last two missions of this epic, if not slightly unrealistic, but still very entertaining sniper shooter. But anyway, let's get on into the Kopernik launch site mission, or mission 10, the penultimate mission in the game, which is one of the more dramatic, actually.
Praying I'd still have time. I had to get into position to take out that rocket. That would be hard enough. But to make matters worse, only a full fuel tank would generate a big enough explosion to burn off all traces of the Tauben payload. I only had a small window between fueling and launch.
Yeah, but even then, I don't know if you'd fix it without some heavy explosives. I mean, are you sure you could do it with a sniper rifle? I'm not saying you couldn't, but yeah, I don't know, it just seems a little bit more unrealistic in all honesty. Come on, go down, mate. Go down! Thank you. Oh, what? What? Huh? Okay, no, I'm sorry. No, I'm gonna restart. No, just fuck off. I'm sorry. That moment where he spotted me there was slightly bullshitty. Okay, now that I'm not going to restart it now, because that time that was kind of my fault. So I'm going to have to get into the gist of things, real American style here. And fail horribly. God damn it. The initial bit of this mission is a little bit tricky, I will grant that. I mean, I'm not doing too well at the moment because I'm not on point as usual, really. Just got to pick my shots quite carefully. What? Oh! Fuck off! There is no way he could have spotted me then. This game does sometimes piss me off a little bit. But sometimes the game mechanics do come together just enough to make it a tolerable experience. to the certain degree that I would say that this is a very well made game. And I mean, I keep saying throughout this playthrough that it does have flaws. It has very, very considerable flaws, but at the same time, that doesn't make it a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. It's just deeply flawed. And I mean, if being flawed makes a game bad, then I don't really want to know what a bad game is, because by all extents and purposes, you could look through the library of many people's favourite games of all time and find many games that by all extents and purposes don't really work very well. For example, many people regard Sonic Adventure 2 as the best 3D Sonic game, but at the same time it's also a very flawed game. The plot is really silly, the gameplay mechanics don't work in some missions, and by all extents and purposes the characters are rather, well, stupid, to say the least. But regardless, it does have some very favourable moments that are remembered very fondly, and wherein the gameplay does come together quite nicely. I mean, less so the case with this game. This game is rather straightforward, and it does have a rather consistent line of enjoyment and quality, as is also the case with what's it called? Sniepr Elite V3. To maybe some limited degree Sniepr Elite V1 as well, but again, I don't like Sniepr Elite V1 at all. It's a boring game. You know, it's just ugly graphically. It doesn't run very well, even on new systems. And it's a boring game. Oh, fuck. The thing is, and it's kind of weird, because with Sniepr Elite V2 and 3, the gameplay is rather straightforward, and the campaign, again, is very linear, but at the same time, there's a consistent level of quality that I think elevates it, at the very least, to a degree where that really doesn't matter too much. And I mean, okay, sure, some of the missions in this game are a little bit hard, and Sniepr Elite V3 is a little bit over the top. I mean, it's like Michael Bay decided to direct a sniper stealth game, or an Americanized reboot of Enemy at the Gates, but at the same time, you know, the level of consistent quality is admirable at the very least. Not perfect, still admirable. At least now I'm in a good sniping position to take out the machine gunners, though. Funny thing is, though, did you know that the developer of this game is British? I mean, the developing studios. Funny that, considering how Americanized it seems to be. I mean, I know the I know Sniepr Elite V3 is developed by a British studio. I'm not entirely sure if Sniepr Elite V2 is. I mean, I think they're both developed by Rebellion Developments, in which case they are developed by a British studio, both of them. Which, I don't know, I'm not really sure if that would explain at all the weird Americanization of the main character, because I mean, I'm not saying there aren't any, like, Cold War era shooters with American main protagonists, but at the same time, the conspicuous absence of the British Special Forces and MI6 seems to really just be very bemusing, shall we say. It seems to hold this air of just cultural synonymy with other World War II era shooters developed by American studios. And that's not a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination, it's just a weird design aspect. Not bad in any way, just peculiar. Doesn't detract from the quality of the game, of course, in any case. I mean, it just brings up an interesting philosophical debate about the games industry, but I don't know, I just thought it's interesting. At the very least, I think the Sniepr Elite V games have always been, you know, particularly unique at least in comparison to their contemporaries. Like, I mean, you look at the other modern shooters today, or even World War II shooters today, like Call of Duty, the old Medal of Honor games, and Battlefield games, and for the most part, they can be seen as relatively similar to each other to one degree or another. I mean, probably the most unique shooting franchise of all time, in my opinion, Serious Sam, by and large sets itself in multiple different time periods, and even on different planets, with little care for like artistic consistency, but at the same time has structural consistency that makes up for that. And that's what makes it unique. It goes towards different planets and times periods, but at the same time maintains a good level of quality and fun that just makes you overlook that. With some games I do think that's quite unforgivable, and that's entirely subjective as to how the game is designed and how it functions and how unique it is. I mean, usually it doesn't really matter. With Sniepr Elite V2, it's not all that dissimilar from the first game in terms of its gameplay and functionality aspects, but it's still a very, very funny game, and it's still a game you can have a lot of fun with, especially if you also get the Zombie Army trilogy with it, which is by all means a good purchase. I don't care if it's, you know, a product of its time, the Sniper Elite Zombie Army trilogy, but it's still a lot of fun. But I will warn you, it's actually quite tricky. You'll definitely play it with your friends if you can. See, are there any more machine gunners? I swear, I've just taken out like an entire battalion of them. No, I don't think there are. I think there are some riflemen down below, but I think I'm just going to have to go down and take them out close quarters. And here's the thing. I think, in all honesty, people should just be allowed to like whatever kind of shooter they want, really, but I mean, if I did have to pick a favourite one, I probably would say something like Battlefield, purely because that's the one I grew up with the most, and purely because that's the one I've had the most enjoyment with over the years. I mean, my favourite individual shooters would probably have to be something like Left 4 Dead 2, Operation Flashpoint Red River, or Serious Sam The Second Encounter. Even still, I can at least admire, from a cultural standpoint of view, what franchises like Battlefield, Call of Duty and Halo mean to the general popular culture of casual and hardcore gamers. I mean, it's quite clear those franchises are very popular, even regardless of my opinion on them. I'm a bit more sympathetic towards Battlefield. That's because I mainly played Battlefield games when I was younger. But at the same time, I admire the sort of difference, at least up until Halo 4, that the Halo franchise had in terms of its other first-person shooter contemporaries. Mainly because, you know, it was set in space, and it was a bit, you know, it was all high-tech, and it was all futuristic, and it was pretty cool, actually, from an aesthetic standpoint, at least. And Call of Duty, I think it's had a pretty consistent level of quality. It hasn't really innovated much in recent years. And I mean, it has had a couple of sidesteps, like the latter half of Black Ops 2, or pretty much the entirety of Call of Duty Ghosts, I think, were terrible. But at the same time, it's maintained a consistent level of quality, while also at the same time not innovating that much. Which could also be said to be fair of, like, the last game in the Halo franchise, Halo 4, and also the last couple of games in the Battlefield franchise to some degree. A lot of shooters franchises these days do seem to be sort of not innovating to a huge degree, and I think that's kind of a sad thing. But at the same time, if you've got a good business model that works consistently, even after repeating it for several years, I mean, keep in mind the modern sort of model of modern warfare, of Call of Duty games, has been going on for at least 7 years now. I mean, Modern Warfare, the original Modern Warfare, came out in 2007. I mean, graphically it does look kind of arse by now, but at the same time it's still one of the most fondly remembered first-person shooters of all time. And from a gameplay standpoint, it is rather interestingly simple yet enjoyable. I mean, I wouldn't say it's my favourite in the franchise. Probably that would have to go to Modern Warfare 2, really. But I mean, you know, each their own. And the thing is, I don't think repetition is really a bad thing. And see, with something like Sniepr Elite, I don't think it's really had a chance to get into that repetitiveness, because the Sniepr Elite franchise hasn't really been around for that long. Sure, there's been quite a few expansion packs, particularly to Sniepr Elite V2 here, but at the same time, you know, the main franchise has only had had 3 games. You know, we've had the modern set Sniepr Elite 1, which, while looking arse by today's standards, I still think is a very criminally underrated shooter. And Sniepr Elite V3, which, while a little bit overdramatic and Michael Bay-ish, is a pretty decent game. And I mean, I suppose you could argue that from this game, and to some degree the first one, Sniepr Elite V3 does seem to be jogging in place and repeating itself a little bit at times, but at the same time, it's graphically competent, its gameplay is decent, and while its story isn't all that great, it's generally a pretty fun game. And that seems to be the rota with many of these modern shooters, particularly the sequels and spin-offs, is that they skimp on story and character to a considerable degree, but at the same time keep graphics and gameplay moving up a little bit at a time, just enough to keep the different franchises that they are representing innovative enough to stay relevant and popular enough so that they can still sell enough copies. And I think, and like I said, I think Sniepr Elite has managed to avoid that, mainly because of the fact that it's quite a short franchise at this point in time. Hopefully in the future we should see more Sniepr Elite games, because I do actually really like this franchise. It's generally one of my favourite third-person shooter franchises of all time, and my favourite would would have to be this one, or the second Nazi Zombie Army expansion pack to Sniepr Elite V2, which in all retrospects is one of my favourite zombie games of all time. I mean, I suppose you could argue that an expansion pack isn't really a full game in a sense, and that's very fair. Sorry, I know I'm going on a bit of a ramble, but that's because I don't know, this mission's been quite straightforward up until this point, except for the first few minutes where I had to get past the first few guards. That was a bit hectic to some degree. I mean, really, though, you kind of got to think about that kind of philosophical argument at this point in the state of the modern gaming industry, and particularly the state of modern gaming in regards to first and third person shooters like Sniepr Elite, the Star Wars Battlefront games, what's it called, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Halo, yada yada, the list goes on. Because regardless of how much you might like those particular games, they do have considerable impact on the gaming landscape, as much as we might like to admit it or not. I mean, as much as I might like to dismiss it because of how much I hated it, Duke Nukem Forever was one of the bigger releases of 2011, and it was a high-grossing game, at least for a time. But, you know, of course, as people found out how bad it was, they started to either demand their money back if they got it in a physical format, or just outright dismiss it, which I really wouldn't blame them, because the game was categorically crap in every single way. And without doubt, in my opinion, is probably one of the worst first-person shooters of all time. It's a terrible, terrible game. It's so bad. And, I mean, it's borderline sexist as well. Oh, fuck shit. I didn't expect him to trip that mine so soon. That was a bit hectic. Yep, sorry about the frequent swearing on this channel as well, guys. And particularly at that moment there. But I didn't expect the guy to go over that mine so quickly. I would recommend putting down a lot of landmines and trip mines at this point in the mission, because it will help you a lot to cover your tracks, because what you're going to need to do at this point is to cover this position while waiting for the V2 gas rocket there to get into the proper position so that you can shoot its fuel coupling and blow it to smithereens. As you heard in the prologue to the mission, the guy said, like, the only way to stop the rocket reasonably is to shoot it while it's refueling and hope that the explosion burns out the carbon gas. Oh, was somebody down there? I swear I'm tripping out. I don't know. Oh, there's one. There you go. Nicely done. Lovely jubbly. Hang on, let's see. Where did the other guys go? There's a couple more out there, isn't there? Oh, there you are. I think I'm doing pretty good at this mission so far. You have got to kind of keep a good eye out on the rocket, though, in the middle, because it will probably, like, refuel without you noticing completely, if you're not careful enough. You might be too busy shooting at the guards, I don't know, but the first time I did this mission, way back in the day, that's what happened to me. I was too busy shooting the guards, and I ended up losing the mission because the rocket launched before I could shoot its fuel coupling. Did I just shoot that guy in the nuts? I'm pretty sure I just did. I mean, to some degree, actually, referencing back to my earlier point about Sniepr Elite V3, I suppose you could say that this game, in of itself, is also ratherly over-dramatic. Rather over-dramatic. Sorry, the game's making me get carried away. Although I do like this mission, though. It's very action-packed. And I mean, I suppose that doesn't really fit into necessarily the sense of being a sniper, but at the same time... Fuck! God damn it! Shit! Okay, let's have a go at this again. God damn it, look at me shouting my mouth off, talking about, oh, you should keep an eye out on your flanks, you know. That's mine to keep an eye out on the rocket, and then just immediately get submachine gunned in the back. Oh, fuck. Okay, I'm not entirely sure how that guy took 3 silenced pistol rounds before going down. That's a tad unrealistic. Just a tad. Okay. Just got to be very careful at this bit. It's kind of hard to prepare yourself in time for this final assault, because chances are, while you're laying down your mines, some doofus will run over them. That's a given, in all honesty. And I mean, there is a box downstairs in that basement down there that does have a lot of trip mines and shit in it, but at the same time, you know, I wouldn't risk it, because chances are you are going to get spotted and caught out very early on. So I wouldn't entirely recommend. I mean, maybe recommend it if you're just going to go in there and quick smash and grab some explosive very quickly. But apart from that, I'd say just try and get to this point as quick as you can, because otherwise you probably are going to get caught out and gunned down very early on. And we don't want that now, do we? Oh, that was a lovely shot. Speaking of which, what would you guys say is like your favourite third or first person shooter? Because I know I did yabber on about that for a while earlier. But I'm really wondering. Because for me, my favourite first person shooter has got to be either Operation Flashpoint Red River, Left 4 Dead 2, or Serious Sam: The Second Encounter. And my favourite third person shooter, without a doubt, has got to be either this or Star Wars Battlefront 2. which, in my opinion, is the best Star Wars game of all time. Yes, even regardless of the TIE Fighter versus X-Wing games. It is that good. Oh, bollocks, windowsill, you bastard. Where is that dude going? Is he going behind me? If he is, that's pretty clever for him. Man, these guys have a lot of guards about, don't they? Ooh, just as he puts off his shot. That was a pretty good snapshot off to his neck there. Come on, come on, let the blooming rocket refuel yet. Oh, Christ, I can't hold off these guys forever, you know. The game is very liberal with the enemy guards at this point, I must admit. It does get a bit hectic, as you can see. I mean, that's why you have to put down so many landmines. Because, yeah, otherwise you will just get overrun. Simple as that. And I mean, you can kill a lot of the guards because the cover they have, while plentiful, isn't all that great. So, you know, you do have to pick your shots very well. Because they will just come at you en masse. Just keep trying to go for those headshots and chest shots as much as you can. What the fuck was that? Oh, now you're going to turn back and then take 4 shots before dying. Ah, yeah, you know what? Yeah, fuck it. Why not? I mean, if Call of Duty can become the most successful shooter franchise of this gaming generation through 8 years of limited technical innovation and just one major gameplay innovation in about 9 years since the first game was about, then I suppose we can have a little graphical hiccup here and there. God damn it. Come on, that rocket has almost got to be in position, surely. Oh, pardon me. Ugh. Sorry, I have been drinking a bit of beer and pizza tonight. I am a little bit gaseous. Oh, yes, that's got to be a headshot. Oh, that was glorious. Oh, that was... Oh, shit. No! Bollocks! Oh, cake cheese! Oh. Shit. Just... Damn it. Oh. Well... At least I got further that time. It's just... I think I am going to try and have to risk it and go downstairs to get some more mines and trip mines, because... God damn it, guys. I mean, I'm serious. This bit is hard. It is really tricky. It is a tricky dicky. It's quite the dickhead. I'm not going to let that deter me, though. I'm going to finish this fucker if it kills me. I mean, this isn't all that hard of a mission, to be honest, but it's just so darn, you know, exasperating at points that you just can't help but getting a little bit sweary and angry. And I'm sorry if that upsets some of you. Oh fuck! Did that? Ah shit! Cock balls! Damn it! No, no, stay away! I don't have any weed, officer. Pick. Shit! Go away! Oh, right along the barrel of his gun. That was beautiful. Wait, didn't I pick up any mines down there? That... What a jip! I risked my life for that. Not gonna even give me any rewards. You know what? Screw you, mate. You can get done. Does he ever did that guy look like... Yeah, how Borat looks, the No, not Borat. Bruno looks at the end of Bruno. Now after he's had the macho hick makeover. I swear he did. Very manly looking Russian guard there. And again, another one with a nice butch moustache there. Man, these guys have a lot of time to tend to their man hair, their face hair, during the Second World War, don't they? Quite glorious tufts of hair, might I add. Very, very impressive. Pity I had to shoot it. I do apologise. Oh, balls. Seriously, was that dude like just a Terminator in Russian form? Yeah, I think I left this flank a bit too open for too long. Just got to set down some more defences while the enemy is struggling to get to this position. Finally got him. I mean, literally the main aim of it is just taking out as many guards as you can with as few shots. Not because of ammo shortage, because at this bit, by this point in the mission, you've got tons of ammo. And so, wasting ammo really isn't a big issue at all, to be honest with you guys. Yeah, I mean, your main thing is just take out as many enemies as you can as quickly as possible. With as few shots per magazine, I should say. So, you know, you can keep up as high a kill rate as possible. God damn it. I mean, to be fair, that's not entirely easy once you've got this many guards coming at you with sniper support, no less. Oh, that wasn't a pretty bad double tap shot there, was it? That was pretty good. Guess all my days of training how to do moving shots in World of Tanks has paid off. Yeah, not quite. Ah, there we are. Ah, got ya, Billy boy. I think I finally managed to whittle down their ranks enough. Alright, here we are. Finally got that shot off. Michael Bay mode activate! Oh, it's glorious, and oh, why is one explosion causing that much damage simultaneously? Oh, it's just, I don't care, it's brilliant. It's just beautiful. Oh, that was glorious. I'm sorry if this mission took a bit longer than usual, mainly because of my absolute failure at the end there to keep situational awareness about, and also I do apologise for the magnitude of swearing, but regardless, I think that went well, you know, aside from dying several times. But I think we'll leave it there for that mission, because next mission, if I remember correctly, I do think is the last one in the game. So that'll be extra special. So I think I'll leave it there. Not much else to say about this mission, other than the fact that it is a pretty intense one, as you can see towards the end. So, you know, keep with you plenty of trip mines and landmines, and you should be fine, because the ammo situation isn't really a big issue in this mission, because there's a lot of ammo lying around, to be fair, so don't be too concerned about that. Just kill as many enemies as you can, as quickly as you can with each clip towards the end, and you should be okay. And remember to lay down many landmines and trip mines and all that malarkey to cover yourself as you get into that shooting position you saw me in at the end there. But anyway, I think that's enough. I think we'll leave it there until the last episode next time. And of course, until next time, I wish you guys all the best of luck. Hope you all are well. Have fun with whatever you're playing or watching. And until next time, I'll see you guys on the battlefield.